Hello, welcome to a new video. If you're new here, my name's Rocky. If you're not new here, hello, thank you so much for coming back. This video is all about my strabismus treatment. This is a long video because it is recorded over quite a long period of time, and I've also tried to include anything that I think might be relevant or important or helpful to you if you're considering some kind of treatment like this. Before we jump into surgery day, I'm going to give you a little bit of context. I have strabismus, which is the misalignment of the eyes, also known as a squint or a lazy eye. And the type of strabismus that I have is in my left eye and is exotropia, meaning that my eye is pointing outwards. My eye also points slightly upwards, so it's slightly on and upwards and out diagonal. I've had a variety of treatments over my life. When I was really little, so about 3 or 4, I started wearing patches and glasses, so I would cover my good eye with the hope of strengthening the poor eye. So I have amblyopia in my left eye, which is poor vision. I can't really use it for much. If I cover my good eye, I can see like a blurry image. If I have both eyes open, I mainly rely on my right eye, which has really good vision. I don't need glasses for this eye and I can read really small text, but the left eye is very poor and I can only read like the top 2 lines. And when I say top 2 lines on a visual like vision chart, I mean like the big A at the top. I can see that one and the line underneath, but I'm unsure as to what those letters are. I'm sort of guessing at shapes, whereas my right eye I can read almost to the bottom. So I had glasses and I believe the purpose of that was to improve the vision in this eye. It didn't work, and so the next thing was surgery, and I had surgery done when I was 11, and it's the same surgery that I am documenting in this video. So it's strabismus surgery, which involves the movement of the muscles around the eye. So there are muscles attached to the eye that move the eyes around, and my understanding of this is that they chop a bit off, move it, stitch it back on, and that sort of, you know, like works like an elastic band, so it's like pulling the eye into a different position. That surgery when I was 11 worked, and I had, I'd say, straight eyes for, you know, it wasn't until I was about 18 that I started thinking, oh, looks like my eye's gone out again. And I went to the hospital where I had it done and I saw the consultant, the surgeon that had done my surgery. She said that she'd be happy to go in and try and do it again, but she wasn't sure what she would be able to do until she had me on an operating table and she was in there having a look. And I was like, that doesn't fill me with confidence, so I think I'll pass for now. And I sort of just left it for a few years. Fast forward to 26, 27 years old, and I've decided I definitely want to get something done because I just don't like it anymore. I want to try and get it fixed. So I go to Moorfields and they recommend surgery or botox, and I'm needle phobic, so botox was an absolute no. And I opted for surgery. I thought I'd rather have something more permanent that I have done once and then that's it. Maybe I have to have it revised much further down the line, but I don't really want to keep going in to have injections when I'm needle phobic. They offered surgery in this eye, but also this eye, and I didn't want to operate on my good eye because it's the only good eye I have, and I just don't want to mess with it. I don't want to have 2 misaligned eyes, and I'm sure that's not what would happen because it's all about the orientation, like the relationship between the eyes. So if I pulled this one out, this one would follow, and then hopefully as I'm using this eye they would stay together, but I just don't want to risk it. This is, you know, the only good eye I have. I don't really want to be doing anything with it. So I opted to operate on this eye, and this is the journey. It's the day before surgery, well, the night before surgery. I've had my pre-surgery bath and put my hair in plaits so it's out the way and I don't have to do it in the morning. Mum's coming with me. I actually feel surprisingly relaxed and excited, I think because I'm just really excited to get it fixed. The thing I'm mainly worried about is not drinking water, because I've got a thing where I drink too much water, I think. I think it's a bit of a problem, but I have to stop eating at 12. So I'm fasting from 12, and then I'm only allowed 500 millilitres of water between 12 and 6 AM. I'm also needle phobic, so that'll be fun. I feel okay about it now. I'm trying to go in with a empowered mindset. I can do it. I've done it before, and also I'm going to the best eye hospital in the country, so just trusting in them. A little quick look of what my eyes look like today. Right now they look different every day because it depends on how tired I am, how aligned it is. If I hold the camera directly, what I think's directly in front of my face, this is what my eyes are looking like. So you can see that my left eye This one is outturned and it's worse. You can see it a lot more if I open my eyes like this. And if I look, my eye does follow me, I think, but it's just not aligned, so I'm really excited to have it aligned. Fingers crossed. It's surgery day. It's currently about 6:20 in the morning. We pre-booked a taxi and we're pretty much ready to go. I'm here and we're here early because we booked a cab that allowed us an hour because it said that it would take 40 minutes, but actually it took 20, so now we're really early and we're just gonna have to hang out outside because we're not allowed to go in until 15 minutes before the appointment. Starting to feel very nervous. Feel a bit teary and a bit, yeah, nervy tummy. Cozy.
Okay.
The cannula didn't hurt at all.
Oh,
It didn't even feel it.
you've been away a long time.
Have I?
Yeah. And the fire alarm went off.
I know, we had to wait for it before they went under.
Yeah.
How long was I away?
2 hours.
Yeah.
I know. That's longer than we thought.
I feel like I've had a nice sleep.
Well, that's good. You have had a sleep.
It's just cold.
It's all right. They're getting you a hot water bottle. My nose is cold.
Yeah. Thank you.
You want some more or not?
Maybe in a minute.
How's Rocky feeling?
Sleepy.
You don't have to open your eyes.
I don't like opening this one because it makes this one move. My throat feels sore. Yes, about an hour and a half, would you say? Post-op?
Yeah.
Feeling a bit more alive. I was so snoozy and cozy that I just wanted to go back to sleep. Oh yeah, when we came in to this ward the first time in the morning, I felt very nervous. And then I felt okay. And then as we were walking to theatre, I just felt very overwhelmed and a little bit panicked. Mostly overwhelmed, like tearful. But they would talk me through what they were going to do, and I laid down. I think laying down made a difference. And then before I knew it, she said, if you think of positive things, you'll have positive dreams. So I was like thinking about beaches. And then before I knew it, I was awake. And they said, Roxanne, you're waking up now. I said, okay. And I felt them take the oxygen mask off and put this mask on. And I just felt really snoozy, but very cold. Very, very cold. And then they put a hoover, a big hairdryer at the end of the bed, which was really nice. It was hot. But as soon as they took it away, I started shivering. And then we came here. And then I did a wiggle onto this bed. And I just want to drink all the water. Waiting to be... what's it called? Discharged?
Yes.
Just waiting for this to go.
Steady as she goes.
We're going home.
And we're out of here.
It's 4:15 and I'm the last one, even though I was one of the first to go in for surgery. Let's go! On the way home, I felt panicked earlier because it was stressing me out that we were stuck in traffic and I just wanted to be home and I feel very sleepy. We're back home now. I'm keeping my eye closed because when I open it, it moves around, which moves this one, which is not too comfortable. The pain's not so bad at all, it just feels like an ache. If any of you have had this surgery before, or if you have a squint, you'll probably be quite acquainted to the feeling of pulling, that sort of pulling ache. Feels a bit like that, and I can also feel the stitches in the middle, but it doesn't feel, like I'm quite squeamish and it doesn't feel bad at all, it just feels a bit gritty. Like you can just feel that there's something there. The journey home was interesting. I felt fine, and then as we got stuck in traffic I started feeling really stressed and trapped, like I just needed to get out. But that settled down. I kept my eyes closed, and then as we started moving again, I felt better. And also chatting helps because it stops you thinking about surgery and what's just happened and the recovery and all of that, and it just allows you to relax. I'm now in the living room with Mum, and we've got the sofa bed out so that I can be with Mum and Greg, and but still relaxed. I can probably sit up, I can absolutely sit up and walk around, it's totally fine. But I just want to reduce as much eye movement as possible because it just pulling at this point, like there's no point. The nurse said that tomorrow morning I can take this off. I've drank so much water. I've drank like 6 or 7 of those since I came round. My blood oxygen was 100%, which was great. But as I was like ready to go, she came over to do the discharging, and so you have to have blood pressure and temperature,
blood oxygen,
and then the cannula has to be taken out if you pass all of those. But my blood pressure was really low, and I think it was because I felt myself going faint, and I'm needle phobic, and I get that around needles and things. I wasn't even like particularly frightened. It's just like my body just reacts like that, and it just throws a load of panic around my body, and my heart heart rate goes down, and I have to lie down basically. So I went from the chair and then laid down, and ate a lovely fake bacon bun from Costa, which Mum got me. Thanks, Mum.
Welcome.
And had lots more water, and then when she came back she was like, great. So my blood pressure before was like 84, and when she measured it again it was up to 104, something like
108.
that. 108. So I was good to go home, and feel very grateful to be able to go to Moorfields for the lovely staff and for lovely Mum and everyone that's been supportive and sending messages, and it's all very lovely. So I feel very happy, and I'm excited to see how my eyeball is. Mum's making a chart. I love a chart, so that we can keep an eye on eye drops and painkillers. I'm doing some eye closed vlogging. Bit bored, if I'm honest. I can open my eye and watch something, but I just don't want to because it just causes pain, and I don't see any point in that. And it's making me very frustrated that I can't just do something that I'd normally do. Like I can't do homework or watch YouTube or any of that. I'm just sort of sat here listening.
You could listen to an audiobook.
Yeah, I could. Feeling fine, got a bit of a headache, but not too bad.
Rocky's going to attempt to eat her dinner with her eyes shut.
Oh, hello, Mash.
Well, she's found her face successfully. See if we can stab it. Oh, she's stabbed us. No. Fail. Oh, yeah. Points.
No.
Ta-da!
It's 8:45, is it, Mum?
Yeah.
On the day of surgery, and I'm starting to feel a bit, not woozy, but just uncomfortable and a bit restless. I'm starting to feel more aware of my eye, and it's hurting a little bit, not as much, not bad, like it's definitely bearable, but I'm starting to snooze off, and then you know, when you fall asleep your eyes roll back into your head. Maybe that's just me. And I could feel that happening, and it was pulling on my eye, and then I would stop it, and then so I was just sort of rolling and repositioning my eyes. And now I'm worried about when I go to sleep that I won't be able to sleep because my eyes will be rolling and annoying. I feel quite exhausted now. Not my springy self that I was half an hour ago. Also, my eye's a bit itchy. I can't itch it. It's 9:20. Feeling very exhausted, but not necessarily sleepy. We did a flannel face wash on the bit that I could get to, which is nice. Makes me feel clean and ready for bed. Thank you for all your help.
You're welcome, my puppet.
I drank so much water. I generally think I've drank about 20 bottles of this. I drank like 6 before we left the hospital, then I had 1 in the car, that's 7, and I've had about...
She's right, you know.
6 here. It's like 12.
Alright, I'm going to stop filming now because you're talking about how many bottles of water you drunk.
Good night. See you in the morning. Hello. I slept alright. I woke up feeling like, yeah, I can do loads today. And then I was wrong, basically. And I feel very exhausted. Not sleepy, just like I've got no energy. And I tried to eat some breakfast this morning, but I couldn't eat more than half of it. I had a hysterical cry because I just feel helpless and frustrated, and I feel bad that Mum and Greg have to care for me, and I feel frustrated that I can't just get up and do stuff for myself. This is my I might be sick bowl. You're off on one side. I'm scared.
Right,
I don't like it.
Why don't you lift it over your eyes now.
No, I want to take all the tape off and then pull it up.
Okay. There you go.
Is it bloody?
A little bit.
Too bright. Oh, that feels really nice.
Maybe I'm going to go over your eyelid first, a little bit. Come on, it's alright, it's alright.
Oh, I hate it.
Breathe. Be over quicker if you stop doing noises.
It's just the thought of it, Rocky. It's not.
Yeah. Do you think you can open your eye a tiny bit?
No.
But you're going to have to for the eye drops.
Not with my muscles. I have to pull it down.
Look up and squeeze one drop into your lower lid. So
I
that's
feel
what we're doing.
squeezy. I'm scared.
Take a proper breath.
Big breath.
Proper breath, Rocky. I think your eyelid's a little bit like swollen, so it's not.
Keep going, keep going. Open your top eyelid. Ready? Right, stay there. Count 60 seconds.
Going anywhere nice on your holidays?
No, I'm poor.
Most of it is on your eyelid, to be fair.
No, I felt it go in. But Mum's putting another dressing on now, which you don't have to do. I just want to because I feel more safe like that. And I feel comforted by having it on.
Let's stay where you are. Nobody move.
There you are, don't move. Touch the eye patch. Look in styling.
Hello, my eye's open. This one, not this one. I have realised if I open my eye and keep it straight and then I turn my head and open it again, it's okay, but it's when my eye is tracking that it hurts. It's still not great if I keep opening my eye, it gets a bit tired on this side, but I need to sort of try and get my body to not be asleep. We're taking this off now, doing the flannel trick again. So this really works if you want to take a dressing off, like wetting it before as you pull it. We found that works really well. God, it just makes me feel sick, anything like this, I hate it. I feel dizzy, so I've laid down. I'm very tired. I feel very exhausted. It's weird because it comes in waves. This is a weird place to be vlogging from, isn't it? I had a 3-hour nap and I couldn't eat much dinner. And then I had a bath. I had to have help. So I can't do anything. It's weird feeling like this. I don't think I've ever felt this exhausted in my life. This vlog is literally just me kind of at my worst, isn't it? But that's okay. This is life. It's day 2. I feel much peppier in the morning. Yesterday I felt alright in the morning and then my energy just went down to the ground. My eye feels a bit goopy this morning and a bit wet and like it wants to open, which I'm not sure about. I'm a bit like, maybe you could just stay closed for a bit more. Slept not the best, slept okay, kept waking up. I ate all my breakfast, which is progress. I didn't eat that much yesterday. Thanks. This is my favourite bit, cleaning of the glue. Are they crusty?
Actually not, it just looks damp.
Because they're wet, see? I wonder if any medical professionals will be watching this going, you're doing it wrong.
All you're doing is stroking your eyelashes.
I'm not.
You want to try to sit up now?
No.
No.
Makes you feel dizzy. The eye is opening. Not by much, but I can actually see if I open it. Feels weird having the shield on because it's not actually holding my eye closed. Yeah, the nurse said I don't have to wear anything, but for me, I want to wear the shield. It just means I'm not going to accidentally stab myself or itch my eye, because it is a bit itchy, and then I want to go and itch it, and then I'm reminded I can't because I've got a shield on. I still feel quite tired, but I feel a bit better today. Much hungrier today than I was yesterday, which is good. Means that, yeah, getting your appetite back, I think, is a sign of getting better. I have been opening my eye a bit, especially because I've got this shield on now, so it's not actually holding my eye closed. And what I've noticed is that my double vision, so I have two images, and before I would have the normal image here, which is like the right image, and that's coming from my right eye, my good eye. And then on the right hand side, I think it used to be like up, tilted. So it was like this before. Now it feels like it's a bit more like here. It's definitely still double visioned. It's not aligned completely. And that might change as my eye heals. It might also not change. London. Mum is being an absolute legend, aren't you?
Yeah.
Just looking after me a lot. Feel a bit better today, but yesterday I definitely felt panicked if I needed something and I couldn't get it straight away. It's odd that feeling of like I had no patience, or it was like desperate for things. Like if I needed water, it was desperate and urgent, and when I was cold it was desperate and urgent, and if it wasn't there then I'd start crying. Look, it's open. Oh, it's very red and gooey, isn't it? Oof. I just had a look at my eye. Gooey and sore. Okay, makes me feel a bit sick looking at that. Day 3 post-op. This is what it's looking like. So that's it open. Oof, makes me feel wibbly. It's 5:30. I'm tired of it. I've had my eye open most of the day and it's getting sore, and I didn't have painkillers this morning. I only just had them maybe 20-30 minutes ago when my eye was starting to bother me. So it's progress, I guess. I felt a bit more myself today, but still just getting tired and fed up now. I'm just bored a bit. Boring. It is day 4 post-op and I'm feeling much more myself today. I've taken my shield off for the day. I didn't intentionally do that. I took it off to clean my face, and I just sort of thought, this is quite nice, I'll leave it off, and I'm not going outside or sleeping or lying down much today, so it's not really, it's fine to be doing that. It's fine anyway if you don't want to wear it, but I don't feel worried about not wearing it when I'm up and about doing stuff. But when I go to bed I will put it back on. I've been using both my eyes today. I say using both my eyes, I've had both my eyes open, but there's a general feeling of ache and pull, and almost like the feeling of rolling your eyes, like when you're really tired. That's the kind of feeling I'm feeling, but the general feeling at the moment is annoyed. I'm just annoyed that I can't do stuff because I want to do stuff. Like I really wanted to go out for a walk today, and then I was wandering around the house and I was just like, no, I just can't, like I'm just not ready yet. I'm sure I could if I wanted to push myself, but I'm not like full of exuberant energy just yet in order to do that. Probably tomorrow I'll maybe try a walk. I've also just got my notification for my post-op appointment, which was exactly a week after surgery, so I'll be going back in on Thursday to have a checkup so they can see how it's looking, how it's going. Altogether not bad, but bored, still quite tired and a bit achy and a bit like woo, like my eyes are a bit wibbly wobbly, a bit dizzy. Not dizzy, but just a bit spacey. And also I can feel like a lot going on at the front of my brain, which is a weird thing to be aware of. I'll just zoom in and show you my eyes. So you can see here, this is sort of if I'm relaxing my face. So my eyes in general just feel quite sleepy, but my left one's open a lot more. And it's definitely red. Here we are again. I'm not quite at the point of doing it myself yet. I always have to psych myself up. Hang on. So now, once your eye... Oh, it's stinging a bit now. Once the eye drops are in, you have to hold on the tear duct to stop it going into other parts of your body, apparently. Thanks, Greg. I'm going to try and do my drops myself. I can't see, though. No, I can't do it.
Lie down or sit down and tilt your head back. No knuckles. And pull your eyelid down. Drop it, keep your eye open, don't blink. Okay, you did it.
Oh, I missed a bit. A lot of it went on my eyelashes. But because I can't like see with this eye very well, I can't actually see where the bottle is. Like if I do it in this eye, I can see where the bottle is. I can.
Oh, I see what you mean, but you can't
focus
see
with this eye,
with your
so
right eye where the
my left eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see with my right eye where the bottle is on in relation to my left eye. I've got my shield back on, and I've done a whole day without painkillers, and I started trying to do my eye drops myself. I did one on my own. I've got wet hair because I just had a bath, but I just took this picture of myself on my phone to see what my eye was looking like, and it looks like it's looking at the camera, and I feel a bit emotional. I mean, it's too early to tell because they said I have to wait 6 months to see what the actual post-op results are, but it looks straight.
Oh, pop it.
And if you zoom in, like, granted my eye still looks poorly, but it looks like it's looking at the camera. I've had wonky eyes forever, and it was straight for a bit when I had my previous surgery, but I just hate it so much, and I hate that people don't think I'm looking at them. I'm worried that I don't get jobs because my eyes aren't straight. If you have straight eyes, you're very lucky. I'm venturing outside for the first time since surgery to go for a walk to see how I do. I've got the glasses on to make me feel a bit protected from just anything going into my eye. I'm also less likely to stick my finger in there, but it looks more normal than wearing the shield. Made it outside. We've been to the garden centre and we're on our way back now, but I'm feeling tired. And two things that I've realised. One is that I get a headache from using my eyes. The whole world feels like it's on a bit of a wibbly wobbly plate, and having to wear a mask inside is not nice when you've got a gammy eye, because all your breath just comes out of the mask into your eye. But it's nice to be outside. I'm just getting tired now. I also think I should have had more for lunch, because I think at the moment if I don't eat enough, my energy really drops. About 20 minutes since we got back, and my eyes are just sore, and so's my head. Boring having your eyes closed all the time. Mum's going now.
My little smush head.
Looking good.
Hello, I'm vlogging the ups and the downs. Just had a big hysterical cry because my mum just left, and I just don't want to be unwell without her, and I'm just scared about a lot of things. I'm scared about doing eye drops and stuff and going to my appointment on my own and feeling a bit wobbly as I walk around. Just feel a bit vulnerable walking around. I don't feel stable and safe like on my own, and I'm just scared about going back to work, and about I don't want to get an infection. I don't want to forget to take my eye drops. Sad that Mum's gone. That's all for day 5. It's day 6 and it's about 12:40, and I feel good today, mostly myself. My eye is opening a bit more, but I still am closing it quite a lot. Eye is looking like this. It's weird when I look at myself, I think I almost look cross-eyed because I'm not used to seeing my eyes not really far apart. Also, another thing that I've noticed is my skin around my chin and my mouth has sort of broken out since I had surgery. And I mean, my skin's not crazy clear, like I still get spots and things, but this around my chin isn't quite normal for me. It's a couple of hours later, my eyes are feeling sore. I feel fine, I don't feel that tired, but my eyes and my brain feel really tired. Which is just annoying me because I want to do stuff, but my eyes, I'm just like this because my eyes are sore. It's about 10:40. I'm just really tired today. It got to about 2 o'clock and I was doing the laundry and I just had to lie down. Yeah, I woke up today being like, yes, I'm ready to move on and be ready to go back to life. And then it got to the afternoon and my body was like, no, you're going to be tired now. So I just chilled out for the rest of the day. I'm just about to leave to go to Moorfields for my 1 week post-op checkup. I've got my glasses with me. I'm going to put these on the trains just so I feel a bit safer. I feel a bit nervous. I feel a bit shaky. Let's go. I'm back from Moorfields and my hair is considerably straighter than when I left. It went really well. They said that I'm healing fine. It looks totally normal. I've still got swelling and stitches are still in there doing their job and they will dissolve. They asked how I was feeling and how the eye was feeling and I said, feels fine. I said about my wobbliness and they said that's normal. And I also said that I'm doing this a lot and closing this eye a lot. They said that's also normal, and I said that I could kind of feel the stitches, which is probably why I'm probably closing my eye a lot because of I can feel the stitching and the slight pulling as I move my eye around when it's more open. They also did measurements and checked the health of my eye as well. And they said that measurement wise and cosmetically, it's looking great. My measurements for like how far out it was, and this doesn't make a huge amount of sense to me. If you're an eye person, this will make sense to you. Before surgery was 40-ish, and now it's at 6 to 8, which is amazing. That's a huge improvement. And they also said that most people don't notice misalignment up until about 10. So I'm not at 10 yet, and they also said it will probably settle down as time goes on and the swelling goes down. It's likely that that could even come in a bit more. I feel very emotional anyway, and I think that's probably from having surgery, but I just feel so incredibly thankful and grateful that I could have this done, and also that I could have it done at Moorfields, which is the best eye hospital in the country, and the people there, amazing. Like, so many people have been involved, and that was funny as well, as I took a little thank you card in and gave it to the doctor, and I was like, I don't know if it's possible to get it to the people because there's lots, and he was like, yeah, there's loads of people, but I'll put it on the thing and hopefully they'll see it. It's just incredible that we have the NHS, and also that if you have something wrong, you can go to the NHS and they'll fix it, and you'll have experts that will work on you and care for you, and it just, yeah, that's just incredible. And I think I just feel very grateful for that, and it makes you feel valued as a person as well, because you're taken seriously and you're important to the people that are looking after you. And also, like, I feel like I'm gonna have another cry about the same thing, but my eye is something that I'm just so insecure about and have been for my whole life, basically. I had it operated on when I was 11, and that sort of made it better for a while, but then it drifted out again, and it's just one of those things that really does affect my life, and I spend a lot of time worrying about it. And when I'm talking to people, especially when I first meet people, for the longest time I would not tell people. I would just hope that they didn't notice, and I would sort of shift my eyes. I wouldn't hold eye contact for that long, because I was worried that they'd be like, are you looking at me, or are you looking at someone over there? And people do that occasionally, and it makes me feel really upset and embarrassed and just like frustrated that my eye is that way. So yeah, I just feel really grateful that hopefully this is something that I won't have to spend as much time feeling uncomfortable about. It's not that long after the previous clip you just watched, but I forgot to mention that they gave me some more eye drops. So this one is Hylo Forte. It's just a basic eye one for making my eye more wet. And then I have this one, which is an ointment, which I can put on at night. So apparently that should help with tiredness and the dryness, if there is any, and the stitches, sort of that kind of feeling. I'm doing the high-low night thing, which seems weird. Seems weird to me, but basically you do this and you just got it in your eyeball. Oh. I've done my eye drop and the gooey stuff and my shield. The gooey stuff, I thought when I first looked at it, I was like, I don't really want to be putting what looks like Vaseline in my eyeball. But actually, it's surprisingly soothing, and if I look around, the stitches, I can't feel them. There is definitely a film over my eye, but it's fine, I've got a shield on and I'm going to be asleep anyway. I guess it teaches you to give stuff a try, because you never know that putting something weird and goopy in your eye actually might be quite nice. Hello, it's the next day and it's quite late in the day, it's about 4 o'clock. Feeling more myself today, although I feel quite sad and a bit impatient now, because I feel pretty much better apart from my eye, and my eye has opened a lot more today and I've been moving it around a lot more, which is really nice, but also I still just feel a bit like my eye still looks like this. It's all just got to heal. I just have to wait and just have to be patient. I'm back from work and I've still got my mask on because I wanted to show you what I did to sort of make it work with my eye. So I hooked the sides up like that because this is a really tight mask, and then to stop it blowing into my eye I taped here with some medical tape. My eye is tired and sore, and I do think being at work and looking around and being more alert definitely made my eye more tired. Day 10, this is how it's looking. I've zoomed in a bit so you can see, but yeah, the redness is looking like this. It's the 12th today and I feel great today actually. I feel very much myself. My eye is still pink, but definitely going down. The stitches are still kind of annoying me, and also kind of looks a bit, what's the word? A little bit mangled. At the top is where it feels like there's stitches, and I'm almost certain that that's what they are. I've worked out that using about maybe a centimetre of this, so about half of my eye's width, is the perfect amount. There we go, ready for another sleep. Today is the 14th, it is 2 weeks post-op, and today is the last day doing all the stuff. But in terms of recovery, technically I'm at the end of it now, because I've done 2 weeks, and that's when my sort of meds and all of that are up to. So past now, I don't have to do any of the recovery stuff, and technically it's done. Hello, it's day 24 and this is what my eye looks like. It is still pink, it's just not healed yet. I feel like it's definitely less red, and if you sort of saw me and you didn't know, you'd probably just think I had like a bloodshot eye. It's a bit pink and still a bit mangly. I also feel like I've been looking at my eye, when I've seen it in the mirror, it sort of still looks a bit wonky, but I don't know if that's just because I've got it in my head that it's wonky and I'm expecting to see it. Another thing I've noticed is that if I tilt my head down and look forwards, my eye seems a bit straighter. But if I tilt my head backwards, my eye looks a bit wonkier. Hello, it's the 11th of November. It is not that straight. I can definitely still see a line here where it looks like there's like a second layer of skin or muscle, and then from here it's sort of yellower. It's definitely getting lighter, and this inside bit here from about here is definitely still pink. I think most of the time I just feel like I look a bit tired or a bit ill, or like if you look at me from this side I just sort of look like I've not really slept. Eyeball update, it's the 19th of November, and yesterday I feel like my eye was really red, and maybe that was because I was tired, or I don't know, and it felt, towards the end of the day, felt a bit like kind of gritty again. Maybe that's just because it's dry and I probably should have just put some eye drops in. Today it feels a bit better. I can't help but feel that it's still wonky and it's still pink, and I'm worried that it will never heal and I'll be left with this sort of pink scar forever. I've been looking at my eye and it doesn't look straight. It looks exactly how it did before I had the surgery. So that's making me feel a bit like, well, why have I done this? Because now it's still wonky and just pink, which is like, why would I do that? That's me looking straight. If I zoom in even more, it is the 20th of January and I'm going in for my next follow-up appointment at Moorfields. We'll see what they say, but overall I feel a bit disappointed in the results. It's still quite wonky, and the inside, it looks like my tear duct has been dragged across, and I don't think, I mean I don't know, I'll have to ask them, but I don't think that'll go back in. And that's not really ideal if you want to work on screen. Like, I'm an actor and primarily my experience is theatre, but that could, you know, potentially wipe out a whole section in the industry that won't want to hire me because I have weird looking eyes. If they offer me botox, I think I'm going to say yes, which terrifies me, but I just really want my eye to not be wonky anymore. I'm bored of it, don't like it, I hate it, I just want it to be straight. Hello, I've got about 10 minutes to, they've basically said they can do Botox today if I want to. Yeah. Yeah, I said I think it's gone out again and they said, yeah, you're right, it's about measuring about the same. I don't want to operate on my good eye. And they said it's because I've had the operation before, and they're such small muscles that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I'm just hoping I can put my brave girl pants on and do it, because you have to, I just asked about what they do and they said they can cover your good eye so you can't see as much, and then you look away from the needle and it goes between the eyeball and the eyelid, like on the inside. They don't open it with forceps, they just put it in there, and then they ask you to slowly look towards the needle, and then you have to hold it there for 30 seconds. Yeah, I think I will try and do it. It's scary. I hate that I was born with this. Okay, love you. Bye. I'm back from Moorfields and this happened. So I went in, I did my follow-up appointment and I said, you know, I think it's moved again, I think it's gone back out, and they basically confirmed that. They were like, yeah, I'm really sorry, sometimes this happens. I asked why and they said It's likely because I've had an operation on that eye before and they're such small muscles. I also asked if it's possible to do any kind of like eye training or eye aerobics to try and strengthen that muscle. They said no, it's not, because my eye is moving well. If that muscle was weak, then maybe, but my eyes are moving fine. It's just that the orientation and the relationship isn't aligned. I had to wait for my next sort of check-in to talk to the doctor to talk about the next options. They came back and they had spoken to the doctor sort of to speed things up, and they said, they gave me a leaflet about the botox and said that this is, you know, an option. We can do it today if you want to. So go and have a read, have a think for like 10 minutes and I'll come in and see what you think. And I instantly like had a flash of panic, like just a shot of heat sort of rushes through your body and your stomach goes vroom. I just felt that. I was like, oh god, this is really scary. I'm needle phobic, so the idea of someone putting a needle in my eye, I was like, no, absolutely not. However, through getting jabs and also this whole surgery, it's definitely made my relationship with the needles and medicine a lot better. I've had such a positive experience that those phobias are definitely starting to diminish now. So I went in the toilets, I called my mum and I had a big cry. It was just really overwhelming and scary. I just felt really frustrated that not only had the surgery not worked, but also just that I was born this way. I had decided before going to this appointment that if they offered me the Botox, I would want to do it, because I don't want to operate on this eye. It's just, you know, it's the only good eye I've got, and I'm also really worried about having two eyes that are out of line. So at the moment I was like, no, I don't want to operate on this right now. So I said yes to the Botox. What happened first was after talking about it and signing the consent form, we went into one of the waiting rooms and they put in anaesthetic drops. That was another thing I was worried about, was if they did anaesthetic with a needle, but they don't. They do anaesthetic drops. They did 5 drops, I think 5 drops. A drop of adrenaline to keep the eye white so that they can see what they're doing, because the anaesthetic drops can make your eye red. So those drops were like 1 minute apart, so there was 6 drops in total. Then we went into the room and I sat on the chair. It's a bit like a dentist chair. They sort of, you sit there and you lie back. Then they covered my good eye so that I couldn't see as much, and I looked this way. Then they put a cotton, like an earbud type thing in my eye. I had the outer one done, so I wouldn't know anywhere else, 'cause that's not what I've experienced. But for the outer one, that's what they did. It was in between the eyelid and the eyeball. So they got the cotton bud and sort of put it in that gap, and that is apparently to massage in more of the anaesthetic. And I really liked that bit, because I was like, this is like a little rehearsal for the needle that I'm about to have in my eye. And it was weird. I didn't feel any pain. It also didn't really look like a needle. And it was a needle, but it didn't really look like a needle because, well, the eyesight in this eye is quite poor, so I can't really see much anyway. It just kind of looked, yeah, like a line going like this. And what it felt like, because when I was blinking, I could feel that there was something between my lids. It just kind of felt like a plastic tube is what it felt like there was just a plastic tube sitting on my eye. They said I might feel some pressure. I didn't feel that. And then you have to stay there for like 35 seconds. So while they were doing that, I just tried to keep my eye to the side. And they talk through the numbers. So they've got you connected up to these electrode pads, which like one in the middle and then one over the eye. They said that the Botox sort of comes up on the system. They can sort of see where it's going from these two things on your head. How cool and clever. I just like, yeah, medicine's amazing. And then they took it out and that was it. And they also popped this shield on. So this is just because I've got anaesthetic in my eye, I can't feel if something goes in my eye, and it's possible that I might scratch it or get something in my eye that could, you know, scratch my eye, and I wouldn't know because of the anaesthetic. So this is on for 4 hours, so I'll take this off at about 9ish. They also said that I won't see any results today or tomorrow, but probably the day after. So it's about 48 hours before you see any
results, and yeah, I'd be more than happy to go back and do that again because they were great and it wasn't bad at all. And if I can do it, you can do it. Overall, I feel really proud of myself and really grateful for the NHS. That's my main takeaways from today. Fingers crossed it's worked. Hello, it's the day after having Botox. It's about 5 o'clock, so it's been about 24 hours since I had the Botox done. And I don't feel anything. I didn't feel anything when I got back as it was wearing off. Anything at all really. No pain, no weirdness, nothing. It's the 14th of April. I have just got back from my toxin injection. It didn't go very well this time, and I'm really sad to say that because I've had a really positive experience so far, and I also don't want to say anything that might scare anyone. I've also come quite far in my, you know, not being scared of needles and things like that, and this has just made me feel a bit worse about that. It was really busy at Moorfields today. I think they must do a lot of the same treatment on the same day, because there was a lot of us waiting for what appeared to be the same treatment. I felt totally fine, confident, because I'd had it done before and my last experience was totally fine. And I was like, no worries, I can do that again. Easy, it's okay. So they did the eye drops. I went in and I sat on the chair, I laid back, and they said, okay, we're just gonna come in. And then I felt the needle in my eye, which, as someone who is needle phobic, is not very nice. I think even if you're not needle phobic, you probably wouldn't like feeling a needle in your eye. I also saw it this time because they didn't cover my eye with a pad like they normally do. I say normally, they did last time. So last time they covered this eye, which is my good eye, with a pad so I couldn't see. And another thing they did last time, which they didn't do initially, was put anaesthetic on like an earbud, a cotton swab, and put that in so that the anaesthetic goes a bit deeper. They didn't do those two things the first off this time, and then there was just a needle in my eye, and then I started panicking. So I went and sat in another room with one of their, I'm not quite sure if she was a nurse or consultant, but she came in and checked that I was okay and said, do you still want to do it today? And I said, yes, please. So she did the cotton swab thing and it was fine, didn't hurt. And then I went back in to have it done again. The person that did it today, when I felt the needle, was a nurse, and when I went back in it was the same person. And the consultant, who is normally there, who did my injection last time, was there, but she wasn't doing it. And he was a bit more heavy-handed in that when he put the Q-tip in my eye, like I could really feel him pressing on my eye, whereas when I had it done before, I couldn't really feel it. And also when I had it done a couple of minutes before that in the other room, I didn't really feel it either. But this felt like I could really feel, it was like someone was just pressing on my eyeball. So after they had put the cotton swab in again and put in a couple of more drops of anaesthetic, they covered this eye and then did the needle, and it was totally fine. It was exactly the same as it was when I had it done in January, and I just feel a bit frustrated that those steps weren't taken initially. And I guess I could take some responsibility and say, well, I should have said, can you do these things? But I didn't know that they weren't the normal procedure because I wasn't told that they were a special thing. I didn't know that they didn't do those things every single time they did this. So yeah, it wasn't a good experience. I was supposed to be going to work this afternoon, but I can't really because I have to keep my patch on, and also I'm not in a very good state to really go to work. My eye also hurts a bit now, whereas it didn't before when I had it done the last time. At least I don't remember it hurting, whereas now it feels a bit sore.
It's now July 2022, so it's 10 months post-op. It's 6 months post-Botox from the first round, and it's 3 months post-Botox from the second round. I have my next appointment for Botox in October, which will be 6 months after the previous one I just had. Here's how the eyes are looking now. So the camera is actually quite far away from me, so I've got my hand out. I've probably got another arm's width between me and the camera, just to give you an idea of how far my eyes are looking, because the depth does make a difference. I'm looking at the camera right now. I can see that I have a bit of double vision, and to me, I've got the main image here and I've got the second image about here. The scarring hasn't changed that much, I don't think, over the past couple of months. It's still there and it's still pink, and I think this is probably how it's going to stay. And I've noticed that it does get redder if I'm tired, if I haven't had a lot of sleep, and my eye also gets wonkier the less sleep I've had. And I guess here we are for overall thoughts. So I'm disappointed, I can't lie. I was hoping that the surgery would work. Obviously, you want a surgery to go well. So I'm really disappointed that it didn't work. I feel like the first Botox did work, and I feel like the second one didn't. I don't know whether the second one didn't because something went a bit awry, there was panic, and I don't know whether that was anything to do with it, or whether I need a higher dose, I need to have it more frequently. I'm not sure. And at my next Botox appointment, I'm going to ask them if we can increase the dose or I can have it more frequently, because I just feel like the last one didn't work. And ideally, I'd like to get it done maybe every 3 months, because I really would like, you know, to have straight eyes. My main takeaways from this, and if I could give you some advice if you are considering this kind of treatment, is if you've never had the surgery before, maybe give it a try, because for me it did work early on when I was 11, but it didn't work this time round. If you are happy to do the Botox, I'd recommend trying that first, because you're not going to get scarring, and for me the surgery didn't work and had to take a lot of time off work. It was a really positive experience, but ultimately surgery is stressful, it just is. So if you can avoid that and get the same result without scarring and all of that drama, then maybe try that first. In hindsight, I wish I had done the Botox first, because that's what I've ended up doing anyway. And also it means that I wouldn't have this scar, which I now have forever. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I hope that it's been informative, and that if you are considering some kind of treatment, then this has helped you in some way. If you have strabismus yourself, if you have a lazy eye, I hear you, I feel you, and yeah, it's not the most fun thing to have. I am thinking of making a video about what it's like to have strabismus, because I feel like it's one of those things that people kind of make jokes about every now and then, and it's such a subtle, it can be a very subtle thing that people don't really notice until you tell them. Like, they'll notice something's not quite right, but they won't really know what it is. Like people looking over their shoulder, for example, thinking you're not looking at them. And people will make jokes, like they'll cross their eyes and act like they're stupid, and like things like that I find really difficult. They just are upsetting. So I would like to talk about my experience with it. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to add to that video, please let me know. If you have any questions, I'd love to chat to you in the comments. That's like the best part of making videos, so I'd love to hear from you down there. That's all. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.